So guys, welcome back to a video. James here, aka Jimmy Suarez on Instagram. This is a street photography kind of channel, if you like street photography, with full frame Panasonic and Micro Four Thirds cameras, and this is the channel for you. So I planned a video and I messed up.
It's late, just finished work, and I'm off into town to do some street photography.
One big thing which I did do, which really I think scuppered everything. I had a plan for a video and I wanted to shoot a cinematic, I know people hate that term, cinematic, but I'm going to use it anyway. A cinematic street POV kind of video. So I wanted to use a Helios 44-2 vintage lens, which is, this lens has some amazing characteristics, sweaty bokeh, blooming lights and all the rest of it. So I was hoping to get some really nice cinematic kind of shots and document my whole photo walk, and then show off the results. I packed up the Helios 44-2 and my little Lumix GX80, which is a fabulous Micro Four Thirds camera, and I took the DJI as well, 15mm f1.7, because you never know. I did have a secret weapon. Which was this. This is a Pixco adapter, which adapts M4 lenses, such as the Helios, to Micro Four Thirds bodies. And the good thing about this adapter is also a focal reducer, so I can reduce that focal length. So it goes from 116mm full frame equivalent to around an 82mm equivalent, which is the nice street portrait kind of focal length. And also being a speed booster, it can speed up the lens, so that f2 drops to maybe around a 1.5, something like that, so it's a little bit brighter, which will help with the sensors ISO sensitivity. So I could, if it's a brighter lens, then I can afford to not go too high above 3200, and maybe in some situations increase my shutter speed. So that was my setup, that was the plan, that was the goal, the agenda. So when I got into town, I quickly discovered actually that the setup, although individually cool, together wasn't really enjoying it, and I think that kind of took me out of that go-get-it, creative kind of mindset. And a couple of things was like the manual focusing at night. Now, manual focusing isn't a huge deal with practice, but I think to do manual focusing at night can be a little tricky, and being an old vintage lens, the contrast is quite washed out, so the focus peaking for me on the GX80, I couldn't really make out the focus peaking, if I'm honest. So that was frustrating me a bit. I lost a few shots because it's got a hell of a focus throw on this lens, which makes it good for video, but for photography, you know, you're winding the focus ring around trying to get focused, and then you're missing shots, and then I was getting incredibly frustrated. And it was a bit jarring to look on the back of the camera on times, and you're looking to see that beautiful halation glowing swirly bokeh, and you know, I think because of the cropping in on the lens, you're kind of not getting the full lovely Helios 44-2 goodness which I was expecting. So there's a lot to learn about this setup, I think, and a lot of things I've taken from my experience going out with this setup. I think the biggest reason possibly was me. We've had some bad weather here in beautiful Wales, a lot of rain. And rain can be good. Rain can be, quite moody, reflections and all that kind of stuff. So, but with this particular setup, it's not very weather sealed. So I was quite conscious of how much rain we were having and if the setup would, survive certain weather, rain conditions. So I had an opportunity this one evening to go out. It looked reasonably dry, so I went out. But I went out after an extremely long day. Up very early, work all day through to the late evening, and I even went to the gym after it as well. And I think trying to push myself too much. You need to push yourself. You need to kind of, get up and get out and take photos. But I think some days, I just think pushing yourself, you can really hinder your creativity. And I think that was probably the biggest thing, which dampened and, caused me to mess up the whole video, was me pushing myself too much to get out and shoot. Perhaps with a clearer head, a less tired head, I maybe would have not let those other things get to me so much, which, eventually ruins the mood a bit. So I think what I've learned is don't force shoots, do not force shoots, and just be as fresh as you can and prepared as you can before going out to shoot. Now, going forward, those things in mind, but also I think I'm going to try the Helios again, but I'm going to try it perhaps on a full frame camera, and I might even try the Helios. I got a 135mm Helios. I forgot the exact name of that now. That might be a good idea too, so a bit more punched in. But yeah, thanks for all your subs and likes and comments. Don't forget to come and join me over on Instagram, where I post all of my photo work. Until next time, goodbye.